Hello and welcome to yet another episode. Previously we were talking about living in the woods and ditching your mortgage, and now we're on to discussing if you've ever met a girl or a guy if you're a girl, or a person if you're one of them. So if you've ever I was going to basically tell you the story. The time that I met a girl, and I met her parents on the same night. It was at some event, some sort of rowing competition event. I wasn't rowing, but I was there, and she was on a rowing team with her family, with her mum and her dad, and all of their friends and stuff. So, I met her there, got talking away, got her phone number. It was quite smooth, and then we went out for a few drinks that night, and so we were chatting away, and then her parents and everybody else on our rowing team was also at that bar. So it was kind of like intimidating to meet the parents straight away. But anyways, it went well, and then a few days or weeks later, we went on a couple of dates. So the first date we went on, I got to her house, so because it wasn't too weird to meet her parents the second time, because I already met them the first time. So I got to her house. I was gonna take her out, and our mum had put us together a picnic. So I planned out this date. It was gonna be I don't know what we were gonna do. I can't remember, but I got there and her mum had packed a nice little picnic basket and all that, and I was like, oh, that's really nice of her to do that. And it went well. So we went on the picnic and all that jazz. And then the date ended. It was a good date, and then I left, said goodbye and all that. And then the next date, so kind of like the third time I'd met her, I bought her mum flowers because she gave us a picnic basket, so that was nice. And then I was like, oh, I wanted to say thank you, so I got her some flowers, got her mum flowers. That went down quite well. And then her dad wanted to. Our godfather was there at the time as well. Our godfather was in the house, and our dad wanted to take us out for a few drinks at the local pub. And I was like, well, I can't. I'm driving. And he was like, oh, no, it's fine. You can stay the night. I was like, oh, okay. So they squared away the guest bedroom. They made us sleep in separate beds, which is understandable, because I wouldn't want to sleep with their dad on the first date. Nah, I'm joking. They did make me sleep in the guest room, which I was totally fine with. I was respectable gentleman. But yeah, our dad was like, I was still kind of intimidated by our dad at this point. So he took us out. Him, her godfather, me, and the girl. We all go to this local pub, and he drives there. Because in England, you're allowed to drive if you've had a pint, apparently. So I hadn't been drinking. I stopped drinking for ages. Nothing, no drinking at all. And I'd been training at the time, physically training really, really quite hard. So I had one pint. I knew that I could only drink a pint, and I'd get pretty drunk on a pint. But so you get drunk fast, and then you sober up quite quick as well, and you don't really have a hangover, but you do feel it straight away when you're trying to not drink and you're training like that. So he got us all a pint, and then he got this extra half pint, which was some mad experimental cider that he knew about, and I had no idea, and it was crazy strong. I don't know what it was. So I drank my pint. I managed to keep up with him, which was difficult. I wasn't trying to, but well, I was trying to. I was I would have been there all night trying to finish one pint. A pint's a lot of liquid. Why would you drink a whole pint? I wouldn't drink a pint of milk. I would drink a pint of milk, but then it'd be done. I wouldn't even need to eat food after that. So yeah, he's like, right, let's go. So we're getting to gonna go leave. We've just had our pint, right? We're chatting away. And it was going well. We were chatting away, and then he was like, right, get that half pint down you. And I was like, oh my god, I can't down drinks. He was like, oh come on, get down you. So he peer pressured me into downing it. So I chugged this drink, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. But get down me, and then we get in the car. And I'm like, God, do you mind if I sit in the passenger seat? Because, I might not be able to hold this down. So he's like, alright, okay, yeah, sound, whatever. Like, seriously, didn't believe me. And he's going over these speed bumps, right? So you know those speed bumps are like half on, like you can take them over the middle, and it doesn't your wheels go either side of the speed bump basically. He was taking them on his side, so that he was getting totally flat right, and I was getting the extreme part of the speed bump on the passenger side, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. And it was either I can like not move and like go straight to bed and try and hold this down, try and just see through the journey, get to the toilet back there, say I'm going for a pee or whatever, and then chunder straight away. I was like, right, that's my plan. I'll hold it in until I get there. And he went. It was this road had like 20 speed bumps on it, and I was like, oh my god, pull over. He was like, what? I'm gonna be sick. And her godfather's in the back, and she's in the back, and I'm like, oh my god. So I get out and I hop the fence, and I hop the fence, and it gets me over to like a little, kind of like a woody. It wasn't even. It was like just some shrubbery on the side of the road, and I just chundered. It was like, blah, blah, like all over the place. And he goes round like the next roundabout, drives round, and they can see me chundering. And then they drive around the next time, and I get back in, and I'm like, oh my god, I've ruined everything. And he knew that he'd done. He knew. That was his plan all along. It must have been. And yeah, so that was a disaster. I got back into the house, and they told the mum, and they were all laughing at me, and it was kind of funny because I was laughing as well. But then I went to bed, and I was like, oh god. And there were like a few people have asked me like, oh, you were like, in the same house as her, sleeping in the other bedroom. Why don't you just go through? And I was like, well, because my confidence at that point was like so low. And I was like, I'm a respectable gentleman, and I don't think she wants to take this any further, ever again. And it was tragic. Then in the morning, so I get up in the morning and I go downstairs. I get showered and all that. Go downstairs, and her mum's making breakfast. This is quite a long story, but I hope you're still enjoying it. Her mum's making toast. So I'm making myself toast, and her mum's making the girl that I was seeing toast. And the godfather comes in. She's cutting the crusts off, and the godfather's like, "Oh, what? You even cutting the crusts off?" And the mum's like, "Yeah, it's my baby. She's only 18." And I was like, "What? I thought she was 19, right?" So originally I thought she was 20, and she told me she was 19. And I was like, "Okay, right." She told her parents as well. She told me afterwards. She told her parents that I was only 23, and I'm 27. Which I was like, oh fuck, like what am I supposed to do here? I'm like the worst liar ever. And she comes in, and it's like a proper like train spotting moment. I'm like looking at her, and I was supposed to take her to college, and I was like looking at her to see if she was wearing like school uniform and stuff, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to take this girl to high school. So I dropped her off at college, and it turns out that in college in England is like high school, like 18's high school age in Scotland, and they just miss a year of high school in England and they just go straight to college. That is their 6th year of high school. So yeah, that ended. Enjoy the next song.